I remember the day my knees finally said enough. I was 72, standing on the curb outside my favorite grocery store, staring at the handful of stairs that suddenly looked like a mountain. My legs felt stiff and shaky, and a dull ache pulsed through my joints. I took one hesitant step, and the pain felt like a bolt of lightning shooting straight up my thighs. It wasn't always like this. As a younger adult, I jogged every morning and had an endless to-do list around the house. But somewhere along the line, time caught up with me. And so, on that day, I made a promise to myself. I would not let my body slow me down any more than it absolutely had to. That promise led me to discover water aerobics. You might be thinking water aerobics is just gentle splashing in a pool, nothing significant. In fact, plenty of seniors believe it's too simple to produce real results. But let me tell you, if you're worried about losing mobility, feeling less confident in your balance, or dreading those everyday tasks that used to be simple, water aerobics could be the key to turning it all around. Without the right approach, we risk letting our bodies deteriorate faster than they should, and our sense of independence slips away. I've seen friends who skipped out on any form of exercise because it felt too painful or intimidating. Within a few short years, they struggled with stairs, found social outings overwhelming, and felt like spectators in their own lives. That's the reality we want to avoid. Today, I want to show you the 6 lessons I learned when I switched to water aerobics at 72. If you stick with me until the end, you'll discover how one particular technique, almost never discussed in your average fitness class, transformed my sense of balance and let me move like I was years younger. I've spent a long time talking to other seniors who've tried different exercises, reading up on what forward-thinking doctors recommend, and putting these lessons to the test in my local community pool. What I'm about to share isn't just my personal opinion. It's rooted in the experiences of real seniors who've found hope, relief, and a whole new level of energy. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, it might be a good idea to do that now. That way you won't miss out on future videos about staying active, healthy, and optimistic in your later years. And please let me know how you feel about this video by leaving a quick comment. If you find these lessons valuable, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 so I can keep improving the content for you. Now let's explore these 6 lessons. My hope is that by the time we're finished, you'll see a future where you wake up each morning with more confidence and less pain. Let's get started. Lesson 1 begins with a bold statement. Water aerobics is the single most underrated form of senior exercise. Many of us grow up believing we have to suffer through high-impact workouts, jog until our knees hurt, or stick to endless repetitions in a gym. But for seniors, especially those dealing with years of wear and tear on our joints, that old approach often does more harm than good. Contrary to what most people think, you can get stronger, more flexible, and more confident in a swimming pool than in many traditional gym routines. The common misconception is that you have to experience some discomfort or even pain to make real progress. I believed that myself for a long time. I forced myself through brisk walks that left my knees throbbing. Take Nancy, for example. Nancy is 77 years old and she used to walk 4 miles a day, every day. She felt she had to power through, despite her hips constantly aching. She believed if she didn't push that hard, she'd lose her mobility. But the truth was, she was aggravating an old injury. And by the time she saw a specialist, her body had paid the price. The surprising insight is that working out in water nearly eliminates the harmful impact of gravity on your joints. Instead of pounding on pavement or a treadmill, you're cushioned by the water's buoyancy. This means less stress on your knees, hips, and spine, allowing you to move freely without that stabbing jolt of pain. At first, Nancy resisted the idea of water aerobics because she thought it was too mild. But once she gave it a genuine chance, she discovered how full-body movement in water can engage muscles she didn't even know she had. The best part was seeing her face light up when she realized she could move without wincing. So what's the practical step here? Find a local community pool or a nearby fitness center that offers water aerobics classes. Many places have sessions specifically designed for seniors. You don't have to commit to an everyday routine to see benefits. Even going twice a week can help you reclaim mobility and reduce pain. The emotional benefit is huge. No more dread when you think about exercise. No more feeling left out because you can't keep up with younger folks. Instead, you feel hope. You see yourself stepping into warm water, feeling light and capable, and realizing that your body still has so much potential to heal and strengthen. Now let's move on to lesson 2. This lesson might shock you. Water aerobics can help restore balance more effectively than many land-based programs. The misconception is that older adults only lose balance due to weak leg muscles. But it's not that simple. Balance involves your core, your leg strength, your mind-body connection, and your ability to react quickly to sudden changes. I have a friend named Richard, who is 80. He always prided himself on being steady on his feet, even carrying multiple grocery bags at once. But one slip on a wet tile floor sent him crashing onto his hip, an injury that took months to fully heal. After that, Richard found himself walking with a cautious shuffle, afraid of falling again. When he finally ventured into water aerobics, he discovered an entire routine that retrained his core and leg muscles to respond better to unexpected movements. The gentle resistance of the water gave him a safe environment to practice stepping side to side, lifting his knees higher, and even performing slow, controlled motions that mimic everyday movements. The surprising truth is that just being in chest-deep water with a trained instructor can dramatically improve your sense of stability. Many instructors use pool noodles and other floating devices to practice balancing in ways that feel far safer than standing on solid ground. Once Richard regained his confidence in the water, he found himself carrying groceries again with ease. Now he navigates tricky surfaces with far less worry because his core muscles know how to engage and keep him steady. If you want to apply this lesson, look for water aerobics classes that specifically mention balance and stability exercises. Or speak with the instructor ahead of time. Explain that you're looking to work on balance. They'll likely show you moves like the one-legged stand with the help of a pool noodle for support. The emotional benefit of regaining your balance is not just physical safety, but also freedom. It means you can explore the world without fear, whether that's traveling to see your grandkids or simply strolling through the park. If you're still with me in finding these insights valuable, please comment the number 2 below to let me know you're here. It's always encouraging to hear from you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is a great time to do so, because there's so much more to discuss about staying active and hopeful in our later years. On to lesson 3. Water aerobics can alleviate that nagging stiffness and help lubricate your joints in a way most people don't realize. The bold statement here is that soreness and stiffness aren't always an inevitable part of aging. We often hear, well, that's just what happens when you get older. You slow down, you stiffen up. Yes, our bodies do change, but the misconception is that we should just accept it without trying something new. In reality, regular movement in warm water stimulates circulation, bringing blood flow to areas that might be tight or inflamed. Consider Alice, 74, who spent 30 years hunched over a desk job. She found that after retirement, the stiffness in her shoulders and neck made it hard to turn her head. She'd wake up in the morning feeling like her entire spine was in a vice. Alice had tried yoga and simple stretching, but everything felt too strenuous. Her daughter finally persuaded her to try water aerobics. Within 3 weeks, Alice noticed she could rotate her shoulders more freely and sleep through the night without that aching tension. The buoyancy reduced the pressure on her spine, and the warm water relaxed her muscles in a way land-based exercises never did. The surprising twist is that water aerobics isn't just about splashing around. Many classes incorporate gentle resistance using foam dumbbells or pool noodles. The water adds a natural pressure around your body, acting almost like a soothing massage when you move. Action step: if you're dealing with chronic stiffness, try to find a facility with a heated pool. Even a few degrees of warmth above a standard lap pool can make a big difference. Focus on arm circles, shoulder rolls, and gentle twists. Over time, you might find your posture improving, your joints more flexible, and daily tasks like reaching for items on a shelf much easier. Emotionally, the biggest reward is escaping that feeling of defeat when your body won't cooperate. Instead of groaning when you get out of bed, you can look forward to your day because you're not dreading those aches. You stand taller, feeling more capable, and trust me, that extra boost of confidence can spill over into everything you do. Lesson 4 shifts our attention to a lesser-known benefit of water aerobics. It can improve cardiovascular health without overtaxing your heart. Many seniors avoid vigorous exercise because they fear spiking their heart rate or blood pressure, especially if they have a history of heart issues. The misconception is that a safe workout must be mild and boring. But the reality is, moving in water gives you a gentle, consistent resistance on every limb. This encourages the heart to work efficiently without the stress of carrying your full body weight. Take my neighbor Donald, who is 76. He had a minor heart issue a few years back and was afraid of any exercise that got his pulse racing too high. He thought his only option was to settle for slow walks around the block. After some encouragement from his cardiologist, Donald joined a specialized water aerobics program. He began with simple leg lifts and arm movements, supported by the water. Over time, he added intervals of faster-paced exercises like water jogging and leg kicks. The surprising insight? Donald found his stamina improving. He could climb stairs at home without needing to catch his breath halfway. He was no longer afraid to engage in light gardening. His doctor noticed his blood pressure stabilized, and he felt an overall sense of well-being that he hadn't experienced in years. If you want to follow Donald's example, start slow. Warm up in the water by walking in place for a few minutes, gradually increase your pace, then cool down with slower movements and stretches. Pay attention to how your body feels. The emotional benefit here is the empowerment that comes from knowing you're actually strengthening your heart without pushing it to a dangerous level. It's a powerful moment when you realize your energy doesn't have to fade as the years go by, and that your heart can become more resilient with each session. If you're enjoying these lessons and finding them helpful, please comment the number 4 below so I know you're still with me. Your engagement means a lot, and if you haven't already, subscribing is a simple way to support this channel so I can continue sharing tips that encourage and empower us in this amazing stage of life. Lesson 5 is one people often overlook. Water aerobics can bolster mental and emotional health just as much as it benefits the body. The bold statement? Moving in water can wash away more than aches and pains. It can also reduce stress, anxiety, and feelings of isolation. The common misconception is that mental well-being is entirely separate from physical activity. But more and more specialists recognize that regular, low-impact exercise fosters better moods and clearer minds in seniors. I knew a woman named Barbara, age 79, who had been feeling down ever since she stopped driving. She lived alone. Her family lived far away, and she felt cut off from the social life she once enjoyed. What she discovered in her local water aerobics class wasn't just a workout, it was a community. She met other seniors, learned their stories, and looked forward to chatting before and after each session. In the water, she found a sense of connection and support that brightened her outlook more than she ever expected. The surprising insight is that simply being immersed in water can have a calming effect on your nervous system. The repetitive motion, the gentle swishing sounds, and the comforting temperature of the water create a meditative quality that's surprisingly soothing. For a practical step, if you're feeling lonely or anxious, consider joining a group water aerobics class instead of exercising alone. The group setting encourages social interaction, and the instructor typically guides you through structured routines, so you never feel lost. The emotional benefit is a renewed sense of purpose and camaraderie. You might start looking forward to each class, knowing you'll see familiar faces and share a few laughs. And when you leave the pool, your body and mind feel lighter, your worries seem more manageable, and you sleep better at night. Exercise isn't just about building muscle or burning calories. It's also about nurturing a healthy mindset that allows you to fully enjoy life. Lesson 6 addresses a critical element: consistency, and the reality that water aerobics can be a sustainable, lifelong practice. The bold statement here is that you don't have to outgrow water aerobics. People often believe that once you reach a certain level of fitness, you should move on to something more advanced. Or they assume that after a while the body adapts and you stop benefiting. The truth is that water aerobics is highly adaptable. You can tailor it to your evolving needs, whether you're just starting out or you've been active for decades. Consider my friend Harriet, who started water aerobics at 68 after a knee surgery. She eased in with very gentle routines. As she gained strength, she added foam weights for more resistance. She began practicing more dynamic movements like short bursts of water jogging and even mini-lap swims. Now 74, Harriet still attends the same class, but modifies the exercises based on how she feels that day. Her instructor might challenge her with more advanced drills when she's up for it, and scale back on days when her joints need a gentler session. The surprising revelation is that the water environment allows for endless variety. You can introduce new leg lifts, arm routines, and core exercises to keep challenging your muscles. So the practical advice is to not give up if it starts to feel easy. Talk to your instructor or do some research on more advanced exercises. Mix in aqua yoga or light swimming intervals. The emotional benefit of building a consistent routine is the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a dependable way to stay healthy and mobile, even as your body's needs change over time. If you're still watching and this final point struck a chord, please comment the number 6 below. It's always wonderful to see who made it through all the lessons. And if you haven't subscribed, I encourage you to do that now. Hearing from you and knowing you're part of this community keeps me motivated to share more insights. Let's take a moment to gather these 6 lessons and see the potential they hold. Through water aerobics, you can protect your joints, improve balance, relieve stiffness, strengthen your heart, boost your mental health, and maintain consistency. These are not small shifts, but major improvements that can transform how you move through the world. The real power lies in your decision to act. If you simply file away this information without putting it to use, you risk missing out on the chance to reclaim the vitality and independence you deserve. Imagine waking up tomorrow feeling excited to slip into the water, knowing each session helps you feel better. Picture enjoying outings with friends or family without the burden of worrying about your knees, hips, or balance. Ask yourself which of these lessons resonates most with your current situation. Maybe you're tired of feeling stiff every morning, or perhaps your main concern is falling. Or maybe you're craving that sense of community you lost when you stopped working or driving. Whatever your reason, focus on one lesson that speaks to you right now. Think about how you can implement it this week. That small first step might be as simple as calling a local pool to inquire about class schedules, or it could be as bold as deciding you'll show up to your very first session tomorrow. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Maybe you'll let us know you're going to try that single leg stand in the water to work on your balance. Or perhaps you're drawn to the idea of reducing stress and finding a supportive community. Whatever it is, your story might inspire someone else who's on the fence about taking the plunge. Also, if you found these tips helpful and believe someone else in your circle could benefit, please like this video and share it. Perhaps you have a friend who complains about joint pain or a relative who's worried about their heart health. Let's spread this message and show that it's never too late to discover a new way to stay active and hopeful. Your support through likes, comments, and subscriptions makes all the difference. It helps us create more content that can genuinely improve seniors' quality of life. Remember that every small decision adds up. By trying water aerobics, you're making an investment in your strength, resilience, and joy. And even if you face setbacks like an achy morning or a day you don't feel motivated, remind yourself that you have the power to change. You are not defined by your limitations. Each time you step into that water, you're choosing hope, opportunity, and a future filled with possibilities. Thank you so much for being here with me, for listening to these 6 lessons, and for letting me share this personal journey. I hope you feel inspired to take action and reclaim a level of vitality you might have thought was out of reach. Whether it's this week or next month, when you find yourself gliding through the water, feeling lighter, stronger, and more alive, I want you to remember this moment. You have what it takes to keep going. Your body and mind are more capable of renewal than you might imagine. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, keep moving, keep exploring, and never stop believing in your own ability to grow, adapt, and thrive. Your best days aren't behind you. They're waiting for you in the most unexpected places, maybe even in a pool of warm water, surrounded by people just like you who refuse to let age determine what they can do.